okay, let me put my big girl panties on and let me stand here and let me pull the best of myself out of me, because what a challenge demands is the best of you. Whenever you've tried to change either your eating pattern or your sleeping pattern, there's a time where it's just really hard because you have to be so awake. Otherwise, you slip back into your old habits, right? That's why so many of us try to change things and then end up going back to doing what we were doing because it's easy. So when we want to make a change, we have to realize first, it's not easy. And if we're ready to understand that any change is going to be a challenge, that challenge is what helps us grow, and that for 30 days or for this amount of time, we're going to be vigilant about making conscious choices, even though they're not easy, so that we have the possibility to turn those new, easier, more positively consequential actions into habits. You're the boss of your mind when you practice. You're the boss of your actions. You're the master of your mouth, what goes in and what comes out. I just wrote a book proposal, and I was giving it to my book agent. And they basically sent it back being like, well, you know, your first book, this is my second book, so the first book, and this was the worst thing, the thing that I did not want to have the discussion about was that book did not sell very well. And they kept bringing it up. That book only sold 4,000 copies. That book only sold, and I'm like, you know, my heart is going like this. Who am I to write a second book? Nobody's ever going to buy the second book. How can this second book even sell? Because they don't look at anything other than how many social media followers do you have? What's your platform? Who are the people you're going to reach? How has that changed? So at first I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to handle this? But then I got back to the idea that this book is necessary. This book is different than the first one. This book is really what I think has the possibility to alter people's lives and change the way that they see themselves, and it's different. Now what I have to do is take on the challenge. I have to go, okay, this is my challenge. My challenge is, can I really help them see what's changed about me, what's changed about my platform, what's changed about my relationships, what's changed about my affiliations. And the cool thing about this, which is really important, is when I take on the challenge and I'm like, okay, let's get excited about this. Let's get excited about really digging deep and finding the answers to this. The best part is, as I'm going through this process, I am convincing myself. I'm building my own self-confidence. It's not them that I have to convince. Who do I have to convince? I have to convince myself. And that stress that comes along with the changes doesn't have to kill us and knock us down and make us so fearful that we don't want to make the change. If you know how to master your mind, then when the challenge comes up and the fear comes up, you go, I can handle this.